we're talking about this. It's a routine traffic stop. It turns into a wild high-speed chase with police opening fire at a minivan full of kids. It was all caught on dashcam video. Alex Goldsmith from our affiliate KRQE in New Mexico has the details.
You're doing 71 on a 55, okay?
Oriana Farrell and a state police officer are arguing over a ticket just south of Taos.
I'll be right back. Go ahead and turn the vehicle off for me.
But as the cop walks off, Farrell does the opposite, pulling away instead. So he pulls her over again. The officer isn't too happy.
Get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle right now.
You can see the officer try to pull Farrell out while the 5 kids inside scream. Her 14-year-old son gets out, but thinks again when the officer pulls his taser. The struggle continues.
You're already facing evading charges right now. You ran away from me, okay?
Sir, I pulled back over. I didn't run away. You see my children. I'm not trying to do anything wrong. I'm just trying to take them to the real ground.
Finally, Farrell agrees to get out and talk, but the conversation doesn't last long.
Turn around and face your vehicle. Ma'am, listen to me.
Farrell and the cops struggle as she tries to get back into the van. While that happens, the 14-year-old gets out again. And this time, he rushes the officer, trying to defend his mom. After a short tussle, the boy runs back into the minivan. The officer tries to get him out while backup arrives.
Open the door! Open the door!
Farrell starts to drive off while another officer fires at the minivan full of kids as young as 6. Farrell then takes them on a 4-minute high-speed chase into Taos, cutting into wrong-way traffic before eventually pulling over and giving up in front of a hotel. Her 14-year-old son is arrested, and so is she.
State police say the officers involved are under investigation now, and according to the Taos News, the mom has been charged with child abuse, fleeing an officer, and possession of drug paraphernalia. 2 marijuana pipes were allegedly found in that van. Her attorney is saying she drove away because she was scared. That's understandable, something you don't really want to do, though, when a police officer is trying to make you stop. Joining me now is former police detective Steve Kardian. Steve, bad call on the mom's end. When you have children in the car, even if you're afraid that you have drug paraphernalia inside, you're supposed to pull over. How do you think the cops acted? Did you think they went overboard here?
Well, Susan, you have to understand, this is now 3 times that the officer pulled her over.
Right.
And each time it escalated. She's doing 100 miles an hour, endangering not only her life, but the life of her children, the life of police officers, and any of the people that were traveling on that highway. So they acted appropriately up until the point when the officer fired at the moving vehicle. We know a couple things. We don't shoot at a moving vehicle. We know that the probability that we'll shoot out that tires is virtually non-existent. And we know that we have to account for the bullets once they leave our gun.
Mm-hmm. What's the protocol in terms of children being involved? As you said, the woman took off a couple of times. This police officer, rightfully so, wanted this woman to pull over. She wasn't listening. If you see that there's kids in the car, do you act differently?
Well, we see how quickly this inflamed, how quickly things can go bad. A simple traffic infraction, she's pulled over for 71 and a 55. It would have taken 5 minutes for the officer to write the summons. When she got upset, the kids got upset. She involved them. The officer became critical. Now it became a high-level incident. He's got to not only worry about her and the oncoming traffic, the kids in the road. So it very quickly went bad.
Do the police officers think about what we're seeing here, the dash cam video, so they know what's proper protocol? They know they're going to be analyzed and this is going to be under investigation, right?
Well, you know, sometimes, Susan, we make decisions based on a split second. And, you know, think of this officer coming out, hearing the radio chatter, and coming out and saying, I have to stop this vehicle. Against departmental protocol, yeah, and I think that once they examine all the dash cam video and look at this closely, they'll have answers to why the officer shot at the vehicle. Again, not something that any police agency advocates.
All right, Steve Kardian, always like getting your take on this. Good to talk to you.
Pleasure,
Thanks.
Susan.
More news now after the break.